Yeah.
Shannon, were you encouraged or discouraged by what you saw last night?
I was encouraged, Skip, because considering the last time they were in this building, they blew a 19-point lead. And once Rondo got ejected, Skip, I got nervous. I'm talking about nervous like a male guest on the Maury Povich show. I was nervous like that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You are the...
Have you been on there before?
Nah, there you
Because you would be a candidate, right? No?
There you go, Skip.
There we go.
Man, Skip,
Yeah.
boy, you be punching me below the belt. You be dry snitching, Skip. I can't with you.
Low blow.
Yeah.
Rondo came off, Skip, and in 12 minutes was a plus 20. Carmelo Anthony, I don't know what it is about Staples Center, but we might have should have had Carmelo about 3 years ago. If he gonna shoot like this at Staples, Skip.
64% from three at home.
At home. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Carmelo was spectacular. AD was tremendous. Russ played well, but the turnover, Skip, they needed this. They needed this win bad, Skip, considering that in the last week and a half, you've blown 2 leads, one of 26, one of 19, and here you are, you have a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter, and it looks like you're about to blow that one.
Yep.
So they really needed this. The starters, with the exception of AD, everybody else was really, really low as far as plus-minus, Skip.
Yep.
And the bench came in, and everybody on the bench, Skip, was plus. And they needed it. Wayne Ellington gave them great minutes. Reeves, I don't know what it is, but they really like Austin Reeves, Skip. That joker playing major minutes in critical times.
I told you he has now played the 6th most minutes of anybody on your roster, and he has become a closer for you. He closes every game.
And Skip, who would have thought a 50-foot half-court shot was going to weigh heavily in the outcome of a ball game, because they needed that Malik Monk shot. But I just thought, Skip, they really needed this ball game, considering what had transpired over the last week and a half as far as blowing leads. So that was the last thing that you wanted to have happen. Because remember, Skip, the last time you were in this building, you had a team that's only won 2 games, and the 2 games they won were against you, and you had them down 19. And the last thing you wanted to happen again is be in this building again, have a 14-point lead, and blow that with 9 minutes left in the ball game. Carmelo Anthony, Skip, he was sensational. The only problem that I have, I'm not so sure I would have let AD take that last shot, especially where he was.
In regulation.
I want Carmelo in ISO. Because that's what he was one of the best ISO players in his generation. And I want him in that situation. And considering he had it cooking, yeah, Melo taking that last shot.
Well, AD caught rust disease because he airballed, right?
He did.
Airballed. You done?
I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
Thank you. Shannon Sharpe.
Yeah.
You know and I know that your fate revolves around Russell Westbrook. And you know and I know that last night you managed for a rare time to win in spite of Russ.
We overcame him.
You overcame him last night. And I'm not sure how, but again, you did have a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter after Melo hit a shot that I thought had brought the house down and closed the deal.
Yeah.
Right? And
that catch and shoot 3 on the wing?
Yeah, it was just catch and shoot, and that made it a 14-point game with 9:02 left.
Yes.
And shortly thereafter, your coach yanked Melo out just to give him a blow because he's, what is he, the second oldest player in the league?
Yeah, he's 37.
Yeah. And so he misses about 2 minutes of game action from about the 8-minute mark down to the 6-minute mark. Melo is out.
Right.
And in that time, Melo goes cold. And I'm not sure I would have sat him. I know it's an easy second guess, but he was so crazy hot. He was 6 of 9 from 3 at that point. He was 8 of 11 from the floor. He was the reason, the biggest reason by far, that you had the 14-point lead. The only time he touched the ball the rest of the game was he took a technical free throw and missed it.
Because he hadn't shot the ball.
Hadn't shot the ball. So all the way down the stretch, all the way home in what became a tie game at the end of regulation, Carmelo Anthony, arguably the hottest shooter this side of Steph in the league. He might be the hottest shooter.
Well, his three-point percentage is better than Steph currently.
Way better, because Steph's at 38.8 right now, which is not very good for Steph.
Him.
But last night he took 19 and made 9. But Melo, out of his mind, and ended up making a big key 3 in overtime.
Yes.
But how does he not touch the basketball during play from the 9:02 mark all the way down to zeros?
What happened? Rondo gets a flagrant 2. Now,
can we see that? I think we have that.
I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a flagrant 1, but I was shocked he got a 2.
This was a turning point of the night for your team. because here's the drive by Rozier, and Rondo just goes in and just hacks him right across the face, the head, actually.
Yeah.
And that was deemed a flagrant 2 ejection.
Woo. So that's why Melo didn't get the ball down the stretch.
Ooh. Okay. So he is your quarterback.
Yes.
I told you before the year started, you'd be much better with him and LeBron in the starting backcourt. You just would.
Yeah.
But you're stuck with Russ because you can't not play Russell Westbrook.
That is correct.
You just have to play him.
Right.
I've also made the case he would be much better leading the shock troops in the second unit, Manu Ginobili style, but he's not going to literally sit still for that on the bench,
That's
right?
beneath him, Skip. You
Okay,
know that.
that is way beneath him. So the problem is that you have a 14-point lead, and then even at 5:10 left, you're up 11, and even at the 4:06 mark, you're up 9. Well, these are all margins of victory that you should be able to keep at, especially at Staples, right?
Yes.
Against a team that's getting a little better.
They get better every game, yeah.
They're still Charlotte,
Yes.
and they're still very young,
Yes.
and they're still up against 4 players on the court who are Hall of Fame bound, right?
Yep.
And yet the lead dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. Why did that happen? Could we please see what Russ was doing in the fourth quarter?
You know what he was doing.
Could we see the 5 turnovers from Russell Westbrook in the fourth quarter, please? Here's the first one.
Skip, what is that?
You're guarded. You know, that's just a bad idea. Russ, you got to protect the basketball. Russ, I mean, you go backcourt. Russ, you went backcourt. I'm sorry.
And he hit the ball. No, he didn't.
You went backcourt. Russ, take care of the basketball. Got to take care. Russ, you just dribbled off your foot out of bounds. You can't do that. That is demoralizing for your team. Russ, careful. He stepped out of bounds because it was Russ's fault. It was a bad pass.
Right.
Russ, take care of the basket. What? What are you doing? So
well, tell me so we'll both know.
The only D that Russ really plays is called demoralizing, because that's what he does. He demoralizes his own team with 5. Those are just in the fourth quarter. 5. He had 7 for the night.
Right.
He is now leading the league in turnovers. We get that. He is absolutely the worst superstar jump shooter we've ever seen, and it ain't even close.
He was bricking some shots.
Okay. By the way, speaking of that, just let's demonstrate that. Please, before you proceed, can we demonstrate, please, just how many bricks that Westbrook laid last night? He missed 10 shots, and here's shot number 1. Whoops, a little long. Russ, take it easy. Take it easy. Whoops. Okay. No, you didn't get fouled. That just got blocked. Russ, he kind of double pumped that and missed everything long. Russ, that's an air ball. It actually hit glass long. Russ, he's not even able to finish. Russ, you got to finish that one. Come on, Russ. Russ. That's a bad idea. That's just a wild left.
He's left-handed.
I know it. I got it. That's a wild shot. How many of those has he missed at the rim? Okay, Russ. No, short. We're about to get to the one where they're just daring him. Russ, come on.
He shot an air ball on one of them, Skip.
Tries to go glass, which is his shot.
That's his shot. That's his shot, glass.
Okay, there you go. That's 10 misses by Russell Westbrook last night. And again, all demoralizing for your team, because what did AD say after the game? As soon as the ball touches Melo's hands, I think it's going in, because the Staples crowd rises to its feet every time the ball touches. And every time the ball touches Russ's hand,
I think it's gonna be a
everybody
turnover.
sits and grabs hold of the people next to him like, hang on for dear life, right?
Skip, you mentioned the D as in demoralizing, but here's the problem. He's not an efficient shooter. He turns the ball over, and he doesn't play defense. I mean, who could you put him on? LaMelo Ball had 25. Rozier had 29. He couldn't guard Hayward. He can't guard Bridges. So who can? So Skip, if you can't play defense, you're turning the ball over. You're not efficient at scoring. I mean, damn. There lies why he was minus 17.
And as we saw, as the misses mounted, whoever was guarding him, you saw it the last couple of misses, they don't guard him anymore. They just fall back into the paint. So all of a sudden, AD's saying, Russ, I got to deal with your man and my man. Because they just fall back in and say, well, go ahead, shoot that.
That's what the team yell, hey, don't worry about him. He with us. You know what I'm saying, Skip? We got 6 players. They only got 4. Don't even worry about him. He with us now.
Okay. So here we come with Russ again. He did have his triple-double last night. So trust me, he slept like a baby. He's got no conscience, because all he cares about, as I said before the season started, he is a solo act of a stat machine. that you could nickname TD, as in triple-double, because for the last 5 years, he has averaged a triple-double, and he's starting to threaten to average one for your Lakers, because he's always, if I just round up, he's 19, 9, and 9 for his seasonal averages so far. The problem is, to get there, he's now shooting 41% from the floor, which is abysmal.
Horrible.
That's the ranks 105th of 136. From three, he has plummeted to 25.6%. That ranks 147th out of 157. And you're going to ask me who's the worst. Well, it's Michael Porter Jr., who's now he's out now for Denver Nuggets, but he's at 20.8. But still, Russ is in the bottom 10 of that.
Right.
Free throws, he's on a pace to shoot a career worst.
He did shoot 70% last night, 7 to 10.
He's up to 64.2%. That ranks 99th of 103 in the league. He's not overcoming the high turnover rate or the lousy shooting with anything else, except he can stuff the stat sheet.
But that's on us.
Okay.
Because he's been a lousy shooter. He's been a turnover machine.
Yep.
And we've overlooked it because of the triple-double.
We have.
But now that we spread it out and we look at it, man, Russ had 17 points last night. Yeah, it took him 15 shots. Man, Russ had, 14 assists. He had 7 turnovers.
He did.
And he was minus and plus minus.
Okay.
So now that we start to play because why is a guy, Magic Johnson, when he got triple-doubles, they were winning games. Normally teams win, you get triple-doubles, Skip, you win.
Yep.
Russ getting triple-doubles and the team they're losing. So what's going on?
So what was the game within the game during the fourth quarter last night? The stat game that Russ was playing, he goes into the fourth quarter with only 5 rebounds. Guess what he did in the fourth quarter? He got 7 rebounds, all defensive rebounds, because he locked down and said, I got to go get the basketball.
Right.
Obviously, no one can chase the basketball any better than this man. No man playing this game, no woman playing this game has the energy.
No, not on a nightly basis.
The crazed energy to attack and to chase the basketball like Russ does.
Right.
And Russ, he was going after the defensive glass like a demon last night.
He might be on Red Bull, Skip. Because how you have that kind of energy night in and night out to chase the rebound? Because one time I saw him down there at half court, and he came in, swooped in for a rebound that was under the basket. I'm like, where did you come from?
I remember the play. I know, like, he was possessed to get he needed 10 rebounds. Right. He needed 5, and he got 7 in the fourth quarter. But meanwhile, because of the 5 turnovers, he was a -6 in the fourth quarter. He has no real feel for playing point guard to get you home, because if Rondo had stayed eligible for the rest of the game, and if Vogel had been able to use him or try to play them together, I don't know how he would have done it.
Play them together.
Okay, but Rondo could have gotten that game home comfortably.
Skip, you see,
and by the way, remember, in the end, Charlotte got a pretty decent look at 3 to win the game.
Yeah.
It came down to that. So you're 14 points. You almost had another disaster.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Skip, if you look at Rondo coming down on the break, and Melo, and Rondo is looking, and all of a sudden Rondo bounce it back. Here's Melo going down the court. Good pass, boy. Good pass. What you think? Ain't no way Russ looking for that. Russ going to the rack.
Yep.
Just like he did the other time when he lost the ball. He tried the Euro step, tried to Euro over the guy, and the ball flew up in the stands. Skip, look, Melo, if you look at Melo, Skip, he has 5 games of 20 points or more off the bench. I mean, he's been a life sent, and he's accepted his role. Melo got 2-3 more years in this role, playing like this.
Well, he has literally turned his game upside down.
Yes.
Because do you remember the Denver Melo? You obviously do.
I do.
Do you remember the Knicks Melo?
Yeah.
He was a back to the basket.
Yes.
As Kobe always said, he was my toughest cover because he got such a big caboose and he's so naturally bull strong.
Right.
He's just bullish.
Right.
But he played low post bully ball.
Yes.
Well, do you ever see him do that now? He doesn't do any of that.
Very seldom.
I mean,
most of this
very seldom.
He's around that 3-point, and he's lightning quick, catching shoots. He got a hair trigger. As soon as that thing hit his hand, Melo let it go.
And you want to talk about conviction of a shooter? It's just like you can just see in the body language, I'm just going up. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to make this.
And Skip, I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. I'm like, man, Melo about to make this. I mean, every one that he shoots, it looks so pure. It looks as if it's going in. I have the same, like when Steph shoots, like, oh, that's good. Now Melo especially in Staples, I'm starting to think everything that he puts up is going good. But Skip, the turning point of the ball game, you got a 9-point lead. They foul Melo, and then all of a sudden Carmelo Anthony and Russ starts chirping. The man gets 5 free throws. You got to understand the moment of the game. In that situation, Sean Wright, I know Sean Wright very well. He was the lead official last night.
Yep.
He had made the call. Let it go, guys.
I agree.
That was a 5-point play. So a lead that was 9, all of a sudden it's 4.
They got a delay of game. It was like a mess. It was disastrous. And again, would Rondo have cleaned that situation up? I don't know. Rondo's hot-headed too.
Yeah, but at some point in time, you just got to know when it's over. Okay, we fouled. Okay, and that's what Frankie B was. Be smart. Be smart in those situations. A situation like that, Skip, that'll cost you a ball game. And luckily, they were playing Charlotte. This is a very young football team, still a basketball team that's trying to find their way how to close ball games.
They are.
Because remember, Skip, just the night before, 2 nights ago, they had a big lead on the Clippers and let the Clippers close the game on a 20-0 run, and they end up losing.
Yeah.
So
27-4.
Yeah. So they're trying. They're trying to find way. They're trying to find themselves and find a way to close these type of ball games.
Yeah.
But a good team, you in a situation like that, you get beat. You lose that game.
Hey, listen. There's another Melo on the floor, a young one. And last night, the old Melo was trying to say, no, this is my house and my game. But LaMelo, as in Ball, had sensational stretches last night.
Yeah.
But again, it's early and he's young. But down the stretch, he defers to all of his veteran teammates to a fault. I want to see him say, no, I got this. I got the basketball, because he just goes quiet at the end of the game and hot potatoes the basketball.
Skip, he was 25, 15, and 11 with only 3 turnovers.
Yep. But,
I mean, and what is he 20 yet? I mean, does he have a driver's license? I don't even know if he has a driver's license yet.
Well,
I guess you can't. I mean, he can't drink yet. He has a driver's license.
Yeah.
But he's 20, Skip, and he's doing like he played sensational.
Okay, but if you look at what happens in the fourth quarter, he was just too quiet. He took 3 shots and made 1.
Right.
He did have 5 rebounds and 3 assists, but it was quiet. But down the last couple of minutes, when I thought it was his time to take the game over, he just wasn't around.
He scored 7 points, Skip, as you mentioned, on only 3 shots. He was plus 11 and plus minus.
Yep.
3 assists, no turnovers. His dad always said he was going to be the best one of them. He ain't lying. As we sit here right now, he ain't lying.
He's got special written all over him. As he says, it's like he's not from here. That's his favorite quote. LaMelo's quote, like he came from some other galaxy. Right. Far, far away.
Maybe not this year, Skip, but he's going to be, it's just a matter of time. He's going to be an all-star.
Oh, definitely.
He's going to be an all-star. He has that kind of ability. And now the 3-point shot is going for him. He's pulling some threes from like 27, 28.
Yeah, his father taught him to respect his elders, and he's doing it a little bit to a fault, because once he takes over this team from, say, Gordon Hayward or Scary Terry, you know, like he needs to say, no, it's my show.
But him and Rozier, they play really well together.
No, they
Miles Bridges,
you
know, I mean, these guys I mean, Gordon Hayward is considerably older, but most of the guys, Skip, are not much older than Melo.
Nope, I agree. So every day I turn our show into a Russell Westbrook blooper reel. So just to be fair and balanced here, could I please show you the one play that Russ made that I thought was the play of the game in overtime?
Oh, yeah.
This is Russ, and it was a good look because he saw out of the corner of his eye that AD had the advantage.
Right.
And he got him the basketball and got him to the free throw line, and to AD's credit, because he's been struggling.
He's been struggling for the free throw line, Skip. He's been struggling.
Okay, those are 2 big shots because that was the margin of victory right there, right? Okay, so in the end, Russ, he's got capability to occasionally make one of those passes, but it's at the expense of all the other ones because he has no fear. He'll try anything at any time, and sometimes they really work. That one worked. That was good.
Okay, Skip, if you want to do that in the first quarter, but in the fourth quarter, in a tight ball game, you can't be willing to try anything. That gets you beat trying anything in that moment. Like we said, all turnovers aren't created equal because all moments in the game aren't created equal.
Yeah.
If Russ understood that, he wouldn't try some of the things that he tried in the fourth quarter. But because he looks at the game as the game, the first quarter has the same value as the third quarter. The second quarter has the same value as the fourth quarter. That's how he looks at it. Most people looks at it the opposite way, understanding that as the game progresses, it gets tighter. You're like, man, I can't try that.
Yep, I agree.
But Russ like, yes, I can. Watch me. I'm about to.
Because no one has ever held him accountable.
Way too late now,
for any of that. It's way too late.
Now.
He is gone. He does not value the basketball because he was never asked to value it or made to value it. he just got away with whatever he got away with because he was averaging a triple-double, and he knew people paid to watch him play.
Right. And that was the thing, Skip. You say you can't teach an old dog new trick, and that's how it was with Tonka before he passed. I was like, Tonka. But I let him get on the couch when he was a puppy. As he got older, I tried to stop him. I wake up in the morning, Tonka stretched out on the couch like he a human.
And?
So, because you know why, Skip? Because I allowed it when he was a puppy.
Okay.
So he like, what? You think I'm not finna sleep on no hard floor? I'm finna get up on this couch.
Did you punish him?
No.
No. Okay. Does anybody punish Russ?
No.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.